Hey everybody, this is Ty with the Forge, and today I want to talk about a pretty sweet deck that I found. Now, props go to Dev as Strictly Better MTG for creating this deck. I tweaked it a little bit, but for the most part, this is like 98% his deck. I really like the feel of it, but when I looked to see gameplay videos of it, I couldn't find anything at all. So I decided to do some gameplay videos of it, and you can see them coming up, but I think you guys might like the way I've done it. Anyways, I like janky decks like this because, you know, they're just super fun to play, and they're not really what your opponent is expecting. So anyways, as a reminder, if you do like the videos and you do want to help the channel, please like and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, or at least put a comment in the comment section. You know, it really does help me to know like what you guys like, and it does help me to develop the channel. Anyways, let's get on with Poison Arrows in Modern. Well, actually, what this is a standard deck. But what I'm going to be planning on doing is just playing this in my new series, S&M, which is standard in Modern. I might make a Modern equivalent of this deck eventually, but right now this is the standard deck that I'm going to be challenging Modern decks with, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so let's get started. Now, basically the center point of our deck is this card here, Pathway Arrows. Okay, now Pathway Arrows seems like a terrible card, like a nothing card. Equipped creature, it's a 1 mana equipment. Equipped creature has 2 mana and tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature. If a colorless creature is dealt damage this way, tap it. Alright, and then equip 2. Alright, so what? I can ping a creature for 1 damage with this, like whoop-de-doo. Alright, well, the cool thing is that if you attach this to, say, something with Death Touch, like a Gnarlwood Dryad, when you do 1 damage, then the Death Touch still works. Right, so what we can do is we can just use Death Touch, and so attach this to a Death Touch creature. We pay 2 and tap it. It deals 1 damage to target creature. Death Touch counts, and then basically that creature just gets killed. Right, so it goes to the graveyard right away. That's awesome. Right, and it's just not what you'd expect that to do, and a lot of people don't know that Pathway Arrows does that, so they'll just think you're playing some crap deck until you start pinging down their players right away. Anyways, that's my hope. Right, so in order to make this work, we need to have quite a few Death Touchers. So we're running 3 Gnarlwood Dryads, right, and 3 Narnam Renegades. Okay, but basically just one. This is a 1/1 Death Touch creature, and it becomes a 3/3 as long as you have Delirium, which is technically possible here. Okay, we have Narnam Renegade. Basically, it can be a 1/2 or a 2/3, depending if you can get Revolt going. Dund Operative. Now, Dund Operative, as long as you control an artifact, and if you have Pathway Arrows, then basically you do control an artifact. Dund Operative gets +1/+0 and has Death Touch. Now, I'm not sure if 3 is the right number for this. I might want to take down one of them and add another Narnam Renegade or something like that, but I think that'll have to come out in the playtesting. Right, so Gifted Aetherborn, I've got 4 of them. Basically a 2 mana 2/3 with Death, which is already above curve. It's already awesome on its own. But then it comes with Death Touch and Lifelink, which is pretty awesome. And then we've got a couple other Death Touchers. Gonti, Lord of Luxury. Gonti is only a 2 of because he's so expensive. But basically what you can do is you can attack, or when you cast him, you can look at the top 4 cards of your opponent's library and exile one of them, and then use your mana as mana of any color and cast it. So you can cast their best stuff with this. That's awesome, right? So often you can get like a Planeswalker or, you know, like anything amazing, or at least you take it out of their deck. And then lastly, we have the 2 of the Gitrog Monster. Now, Gitrog Monster is only going to come out on turn 5, but, you know, this is a nice Ventura. 6/6 with Death Touch is actually pretty sweet. So it's going to be hard for your opponent to kind of deal with that eventually. And hey, you're dealing with a giant frog, right? So, you know, killing someone with a giant frog is going to be awesome. And, you know, you can always make jokes about your opponent croaking. We're also playing a 1 of Nissa's Vital Force. Okay, so You can untap target land. It creates a 5/5 elemental creature token with haste. That could just be an untap ability. The emblem is actually pretty cool, so whenever a land enters the battlefield, you can draw a card, so we can get a ton of card advantage on this. And then also returning a target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand is actually pretty good too, because what I found, I've only played 2 matches of this so far, is that basically you're going to be sacrificing your creatures a lot, because you're just going to swing all the time with this, with your creatures, and you're gonna lose them. So to be able to get them back is actually pretty good. All right. So what else are we running? Well, we're running some forms of removal. So Grasp of Darkness, target creature gets -4/-4 till end of turn. Heroic actually Fatal Push. Okay, so Fatal Push is almost an auto-include now, and that's a modern competitive card, so that's pretty good. I only had room for 3 of them though, so that's up to you if you wanted to maybe find something else. Oh yeah, we're running 4 of Scrap Heap Scrounger. Now, because we have so much stuff going to the graveyard, having this 3/2 be able to come back is actually pretty nice. So we have this go to the graveyard. When one of our other Death Touchers go in, we can exile that one from the graveyard and bring this back to the battlefield. And it doesn't go to your hand, it goes to the battlefield, which is actually really, really good. So that's actually a pretty sweet ability. We're running a number of combat tricks. So Blossoming Defense, target creature gets +2/+2, gains hexproof till end of turn. Heroic Intervention. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible, so that's just to counter some board wipes. And this is by far my favorite, Nature's Way. Target creature you control gains vigilance and trample. It's like, that's not really that important, unless you have Get Rog Monster out or something like that. But it deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Right, so basically, because it's almost like another set of pathway arrows, so you can basically use that and just damage one of your opponents, and it actually works out really well. Right, so Nature's Way is pretty good. I might even consider putting in the number 4 in the board. Anyways, our mana base is 4 of Blooming Marsh, 3 of Evolving Wild. Now we need the 3 Evolving Wilds to kind of fuel Fatal Push sometimes, but also to fuel the Revolt in Narnam Renegade. So sometimes we can do like a turn 1 Evolving Wilds, turn 2 Forest, crack Evolving Wilds for a Forest, cast Narnam Renegade, and then get them out a little bit faster or a little bit bigger, if you want. Other times you can just hold up in Evolving Wilds, crack it, and then use Fatal Push to kill a larger creature. Anyways, then we're running just the rest is basically, I think it's 8 forests, 8 swamps, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 forests, 8 swamps, for a total of 23 lands. Alright, in the sideboard, we have a Dead Weight, so creature gets -2/-2, Transgress the Mind, basically Lost Legacy. Transgress the Mind is still pretty good, but you might want to switch it with maybe something else, depending what you got. Lost Legacy is basically to stop any combo stuff. Murder, this is just for more removal. Ruinous Path, destroy target creature or planeswalker, so obviously to destroy planeswalker. As I said, we have number 3 of Nature's Way in here as well. Blossoming Defense, number 3 as well. Heroic Intervention, number 2 more, just in case the opponent has a lot of board wipes. Right, and one I added is Macabre Waltz. Basically, return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So, if your opponent's really killing your Death Touchers a lot, you can at least use that and get at least 2 of these guys back, and then that can help to fuel your Scrap Heap Scrounger and so on and so forth. Anyways, the deck's a ton of fun to play. Your opponent, he thinks like, okay, this is crappy 1/1 Death Touchers or whatever, but no one really likes to trade their big creatures for this. What I found in the 2 matches I played before is it's kind of a slower deck, as standard decks tend to be, especially compared to modern decks. So when you're playing against really fast aggro, you might or burn, you might have a hard time against those, and I'm not sure really like what I could do to kind of survive against that. But when you're playing against like creature decks, man, does this thing rock. Anyways, I hope you do like the deck. Again, shout out to Dev at Strictly Better MTG. He's the one that came up with this deck in the first place. I'm just kind of running with it, and I hope you enjoy watching me playing Standard and Modern, S&M. I really hope you like the series. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.